Let's bring you more stories this morning as the Attorney General, Govt Yeboah says through government's intervention, the nation has saved more than 10 trillion cedis in what would have been paid as judgment debt. This comes after President Akufo-Addo made a similar statement during the State of the Nation address in Parliament on Tuesday.
The savings that the President announced were actually an underestimation. The President grossly underestimated it, and it was actually my doing, because every minister has a responsibility of bringing to the President's attention the work that the minister has done. And in presenting my report, I deliberately understated the account, just not to raise unnecessary eyebrows and to be unnecessary sensational. But if you go through, 10 trillion is just arising in a single case. If you go through, the savings are actually over 14 billion. 14 trillion. Yes, I can refer to this matter, China Jinleng, which the Supreme Court set aside only last year. The judgment debt here, if you look at the figure here, originally, and then all the time, Ganashir, it was in the High Court of Justice, I think in Kumasi or so. The transport minister actually came here, made a lot of noise about it because it affected his account and all. And we took it up and compared to situations where ministers and the also administration would team up and orchestrate and facilitate judgment debts. This is amount of 352 million. So that the figures are even dizzy. You can't even 352 million Ghana cedis. 352 million 662,144.41 pesos. And then an amount of almost $1 billion. $988 million, 294,313. That is it. So almost $1 billion plus 325 million Ghana cedis. So the Supreme Court again in 2022, after 2023, in the conclusion, says the application before the court that we have quashed the ruling given was expressly to set aside the Ganashir order and without prejudice making the consequential setting aside order, and they granted the order quashing all these proceedings. And interestingly, in this judgment, the court actually held that, as we contended, that the persons who had mounted the action even had no capacity whatsoever, and the identities could not be made out. A person who was a foreigner holding a power of attorney which had not been properly notarized and who had even died later on in the course of the trial and therefore could not have given another power of attorney to another person to pursue the trial.